Konnichiwa Engines, let's review the Steam Deck 256GB NVMe edition, shall we? So as ever guys, we'll be looking at the look and feel, the performance in the OS, the games, and who should get this, and then we'll give it a rating at the end. Much like we did with the Xbox, PlayStation 5, all those other good stuff. So check those out as well. We've got loads of Steam Deck videos, so make sure you check those out in the playlist. So the look and feel of the Steam Deck is a nice feel. It feels very like a soft finish, which is very nice. I haven't had issues with like touching the under buttons by accident and what have you, so I'll have to see if that's a thing over time, but it hasn't been a problem up to now. The interface is very familiar and everything else, but I suppose we should leave that for the OS part. But really it's a nice thing that feels, it's got some weight to it, especially for the price. I suppose you'd want some weight to something that costs this kind of $1. So it's got a nice feel to it, nice finish to it. The middle is quite warm on the device. It's very noticeable. So it's not an issue because your hands ain't really going to be touching the middle. Your hands are going to be dealing with these areas here unless you're using a controller, of course. It also would be remiss of me not to mention this big lovely screen that you get as well, which is a 7-inch screen. Allegedly, well not allegedly, apparently it's the same size as the Switch OLED. The original Switch is 6.2 inch. With the Steam Deck, you're getting a 7-inch bright screen. In fact, it's just to bump up the brightness here. There we go. Very bright, beautiful. So yeah, everything feels nice. Touchpads feel good, buttons feel good. There's really no issue with the look and feel for me. I like the black design. It's really nicely finished. I think you'll agree it's an attractive looking device. Indeedy. All right, now let's talk about the performance and the OS. Well, what can I say? It's Steam. If you like the Steam OS, you're gonna like this. I guess this is more like big picture mode essentially. So you have big picture mode running on this. It works well with controllers, as you will see in the Steam Dock video where we tested all of that out. What's it not to like? You got your shortcut button here that gets you access to all the quick settings, from friends to battery power to all the things you could need. I wonder if my battery life is a thing I should think about more as far as a review is concerned. I mean, it's pretty good, but you can stick it on the dock. I have to check what the official is, but I'm not sure. But and somehow I took screenshots by accident. So there's quick options there. You have your Steam button here, which is kind of like the equivalent of pressing the like guide button on Xbox or the PlayStation button on PlayStation and so forth and so such. And then all your things are there. You also have things that you can do on the touchscreen as well, which is kind of like a shortcut to those same things. The touchscreen is really responsive and everything else. There is just no issue. The only thing I haven't tested actually is like the gyro thingy, but I'm sure it works really well. I suppose I should play the fully play the desktop game to get a full sense of that, but from what I've seen, so I'm sure they would put all those features in there, much like PlayStation did with their mascot games where they kind of let you test out all the features of the device. But yeah, there's no complaints to be had. It all works excellently. It's all responsive. It has menus to tell you, sorts your games to tell you what games will work great on the deck and what games might give you issues and so forth, which is always handy. And you can see there's quite a few that work great on there. And even the ones that don't work great on there, sometimes just need tweaking, or maybe you have to use like a controller for like maybe the main menu and so forth. So I would say the majority of things works on here. There's some odd surprises here and there, things that don't work on there. Like for instance, Divinity Original Sin 2 works, but Divinity Original Sin 1, I think has that same problem where you might have to go into a menu here and there or force it to do certain things. But otherwise, you know, many, if not all of the big hitters are there and everything else. It's fast. It starts up within 30 seconds of powering it on with an NVMe edition. All the information is there, time and everything else. I've always liked the Steam OS, and big picture mode is no exception, and Steam Deck's no exception, and it performs beautifully. Speaking of games and that desktop game I was talking about from Valve, let's have a look at it now. So games on Steam Deck are really nice. Especially this one here looks really nice on the screen. I think you can kind of see it here. And as I expected, this game kind of looks like it's going to show you how to use and utilize all of the cool features of the Steam Deck. So it's getting us acquainted with all the buttons, under buttons here now. So we'll do that. That looks great. And they've performed all excellently. Hopefully you pick up the audio and go pretty loud. So what do we do here? We've got a wire button there. Yeah, so it can allow people to poop. I mean, it looks great. It works great. You've seen a couple of demonstrations I've shown before as well. There's only one real major issue I have with the games on Steam Deck. It's two issues really, actually. And it might be a case of me figuring out some settings and stuff, so they're kind of like, I'm not sure. One being ray tracing. At the moment, ray tracing is not on this device by default, and when you're playing something like Control, the lack of ray tracing is pretty rough. So in saying that, it's hard to kind of really explain. If you haven't seen something like Control in its ray traced form, it's really the only way to play it. But if you haven't seen it before, I guess you don't miss what you don't know. So for me, as someone that has played ray tracing, has ray tracing graphics cards from the beginning, really, it's a little bit rough to see it like this. To see the shadows not looking as tight, the lighting and everything else. So it'd be nice if they added it in. I've adjusted some settings in the game here, and it has kind of made it a little bit slower as well, so it will be more like a medium level. So that's the thing to think about. If you want full-blown fidelity, then it's not really the device that you want to play on. But if you want something that looks better than the Switch, I suppose everything looks better than the Switch, then this is a good device for you. So if you don't mind that, or if you've got games that aren't ray traced and what have you, and you just want to play on the go and what have you, this is the way to go. But if you're wanting something to play in its absolute best visual form, whether docked or otherwise, this is not probably the way to go, especially for ray traced games. Otherwise though, great for the size, definitely looks better than the Switch. I haven't seen the OLED one, but you know how the Switch is, man. Like, things look rough in 1080p. This thing's only hitting at 720p and still looks better than the Switch, in my opinion, on a 4K TV device, much less. So yeah, it's the only downside really of the games on there. That, and the second thing being the actual, I better shut up. So we have 1080p here, as you can see. Let me just absolutely make sure I'm not able to get 1080p through the dock at the moment, because I haven't been able to, but I want to make sure that's a criticism that's correct. If it's not, let me know in the comments as well. I forget what I said about the 1080p not being available while docked. Look, we've got 1080p while docked. Okay, so who is the person that should be buying the Steam Deck? What kind of customer are you if I would recommend this device for you? Well, I've got my notes over here. So there's a couple of different types of people that could benefit from something like this amazing device. Switch fans that would like a higher fidelity PC gaming portable device. This is definitely a better looking and more powerful device than the Switch. At least for the standard edition. I'm not sure, I haven't experienced the OLED personally, so someone will have to tell me that, because otherwise. People are looking for a portable PC gaming system that brings near quality as possible to max, but you don't really mind that you're not going to have, say, ray tracing. Or if you have a certain library of games that really fit well with this, that can just kind of go completely balls out maxed, and you're not losing anything, and you're playing in the same fidelity, but you're just getting a portable experience with all those lovely cloud saves to go with it. Also, people that want to mod and customize the heck out of this thing, you can change the front, you can change the back, you can change the inside, you can change the graphics card, you can change the processor, the memory, the RAM. You can completely mod this thing out. You can run emulation stuff on there. I think someone's got a Switch emulator running on there or something. It's got the gyro stuff and all that as well, so you can have all the motion movement. Apparently it's a really good PlayStation Vita kind of mod and 3DS and so forth, because you've got the touch screen and everything as well. So it's pretty sick. It can do pretty much anything like that. Or any legalities and all that kind of thing. I'd say also as well, there's people that have a beefy Steam library. You can install other things on this, like Windows and so forth, which is pretty wild. So it doesn't stop you whether you have a Steam library or not. You can do pretty much things up. If you've got a big Steam library already, like your boy does, then that kind of, well, there's people that got way bigger, but you know what I'm saying. Then it's nice to have a, you know, potentially 180 games that's going to work great on it, and 954 or some less 954 that might work on it, or it might have to fiddle around with and so forth. So that's fantastic as well. And you already got your if you get the dock, which I've put over here, if you can buy it with dock, it's a bit pricey, £79. I've got a video on that as well, but I think it's really nice, goes well with it, works really well, you know, and even has an update thingy, which is interesting to see. So great device when you couple with the dock. Just bear it in mind that it is £79 when you add it with it, which is about, I'm gonna say like about $90 to $100 US. So bear that in mind. You can get some alternatives and stuff, some cheaper ones. I don't know if they work as well, so that's completely up to you if you want to save money there. I would just go for what works nice with it and just, you know, bite the bullet there. And I'd also recommend, if you're any one of those people, I would say go for the NVMe version. You can expand it. I've got another 256 gigabytes right there. I think it's 256 gigabytes I bought, right? So, and I've not noticed any difference in speed between the NVMe and the Evo SD card yet, but I've got some proper tests on that to get some stuff. Maybe that's a job for Digital Foundry. I'm sure they've done it already. They've got some deep tests, so probably check them out for deep speed tests and things like that. But I've not noticed any major differences in speed between the SD card and the NVMe. But I can't vouch for how slower or not the standard version is. So I'll go with the middle at least. If you're not the type that scratches screens and so forth, I don't think you need to go for the etched screen version unless you really, really want it or you're quite rich. Then go for that, you know. But yeah, that is who I think should and who I think will enjoy this device. So for my score for the Steam Deck, it's kind of a score that I seem to be giving every games console device, or almost near enough, spoiler alert. But I feel like, you know, overall, pretty much all of the devices that I've reviewed have a similar thing in common, in that they are near perfect when used in the right way, in the right scenarios and so forth. And this device is no exception. I think that in the right scenarios, this is a perfect device, but there is one or two things that are kind of maybe taking it away from being perfect, but might be perfect for you. But at least for me, you know, though I'm not shy about the 10s, I think I'm going to give the Steam Deck NVMe edition. Oh yeah, I forgot about the lovely case that it comes with as well, which is quite nice. You can hold it like a handbag if you want to as well, if you're a lady. But or you know, maybe if you just like holding things like a handbag. But I'm gonna give this Steam Deck, this awesome device, this highly customizable, hackable, moddable, open device, very sexy, very heavy. I wouldn't want to drop it though. It feels substantial. Give it a 9 out of 10. The only things that's missing, like I said, is the ray tracing support. Some people might not care about that. Depends if you experienced it or not. I would absolutely not play like a Cyberpunk or something like that on this device if you have a ray tracing device, because you'd be missing out the atmosphere and the immersion would just be lost playing this default with no ray tracing support of some kind installed in there or hacked in there, which I think Digital Foundry managed to do. So check those guys out for that as well. Shout out to them. But that aside, there's also, I feel at least I need to do a bit more research, but it seems that some games are limited to 720p once they're docked, and which isn't really, I don't know if that's to do with the dock itself or if that's just generally how it does when it's connected to a dockable device. But that's something to think about. If it is the case, you have to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong there. I'm not sure, but in my experience, it seemed like a couple of games here and they didn't do full 1080p when they were playing in normal. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they were always 720p. I'm not sure. What do you want from me? Last thing as well is that the fan can be a little bit noisy at occasion when it's not regular, it's not major. It hasn't done it once since this recording session really, but it is noticeable sometimes the fan will kind of go off and you kind of hear it going and this middle gets quite warm. It is quite warm here, but those are nitpicking things. Majorly really, it's the fidelity issues of getting the full fidelity consistently throughout, with like the things like missing that ray tracing. But otherwise, for the right games, the right scenarios, when taking a poop or what have you, this is PC gaming futureness. I love it. So yeah, definitely get one if you can. And click one of the videos on the screen. I just realized I haven't licked a device that's hot in a while. That tastes good as well, especially with that warmth.